Virgo friends, I'm Annie Botticelli, and welcome to my Virgo March 2023 Astrology Horoscope Forecast. I'm calling the theme of this month for Virgos, Supreme Gifts from the Universe. And I'm going to go into details as to what that looks like and why I think this for this month for you. But first, I want to let you know this is for you if Virgo is your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, or any other Virgo placement you watch for. What we're going to talk about here is part of your astrological picture. And if you're a very late degree Virgo placement, so like September 15th through the rest of the sign, or 23 degrees or so through the rest of the sign, I suggest you additionally listen to or watch my Libra report because late degree friends will benefit from both the Virgo and Libra readings. I've got a lot to talk about this month. So many new beginnings, so much powerful energy for moving forward. 3 major sign changes for planets. But first, let's talk about these gifts from the universe and just get right into that topic. You see this fire frenzy, this crazy conglomeration of Aries energy, plus this sun in Pisces is going to get into Aries later in the month, and this Mercury is going to get there too. Then we also have the new astrological year as the sun gets there and the new moon in Aries. So we've got like 10 things going on in Aries, and guess what that is lighting up for you? Your house of other people's money. All right? Taxes, credit, debt, government aid, family support, spousal money, retirement, winnings, earnings, finding money, winning money, people just showing up and giving you stuff financially, emotionally, spiritually. Supreme gifts from the universe, basically. Lit up like the 4th of July for you all. So pretty much that's all I have to say. Goodbye. I'm just kidding. But this is like kind of in a nutshell. You see what's going on here. That's why I wanted to do the visuals for this month, because this is like, it's hard to convey how much of this energy is here in this area for you. So if you need any support of any kind, and even from the etheric realm, spiritual guides and teachers, esoteric knowledge, trying to solve a mystery, those kind of things are just so well supported at this time. Some other energies that are present with this massive amount of Aries is impetus and motivation and inspiration and get up and go and vitality and clarity and direction. And it's perfect because from the end of January through around April 7th, we have the most open stars that we'll have in all of 2023. And March is the most fire. And this goes into the beginning of April as well. So we'll kind of group the first week of April along with our March story. This open window of personal planet and outer planets going direct. This is very uncommon that all the big hitters, Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, Saturn, all of them moving direct, all the ones closer to us, all moving direct. So this is like us blasting forward and blasting up into the stratosphere beyond belief with all of our projects. So, the drive is there. The ambition is there. The clarity is there. And after having Mars being Gemini, vacillating back and forth for so long, for 7 months from the end of August, that's also going to move on into a sign that's more conducive to speaking your language. It'll be in a water sign, and that meshes much better for earth energies. So a lot of things you've been in indecision about and kind of going back and forth about, you'll have the clarity, then you'll have the drive. And you couldn't pick a better month for taking action because, of everything that I pointed out. Also, we've got some really specific days from specific transits, which I am going to get into to help you, just use these connections, because all of these Aries energies, a lot of these things are bumping up against each other, creating the most powerful aspect in all of astrology, the conjunction. When planets come together at the same degree, like here, right at the beginning of the month, Jupiter and Venus is there. And I'll talk about that in a second, but I want to tell you also that Aries rules the first house. So the first house has to do with your physical body. It has to do with your relationship with your physical body, your childhood psychology that has become your adult psychology. It has to do with your image, your brand, what you're bringing out into the world, how you're known. And there's such a chance for bold reinvention at this time. So if you are a Virgo that has been stagnant, stuck, not really sure what you're doing and really needing some new stuff, this boldness can cut the stagnation And it's definitely a time to be audacious. This energy will be rumping and bumping around like a bull in a china shop. We have to watch out for a little bit of impulsivity, or a lot of impulsivity there. Virgos don't tend to be impulsive by nature unless you have something else in your chart that makes you so. Usually you think things out and plan things, but you're going to be a little more zippy. And that can extend you out to have some pretty amazing experiences and really broaden your horizons. So that's very exciting. So let's talk about some of these dates. Also, we have to get back to discussing eclipses. So I'm just writing myself a little note there. All right, so let's talk about some of my favorite dates. Now, I am going to go not in order of the calendar month, but in order of what I'm excited about, because I get to do that, right? Because I'm the one doing this. So, and you will see what I mean, why I'm doing it in this order. March 1st and 2nd, Jupiter, the great benefic, the bringer of luck and expansion, is coming together with Venus, the ruler of love and beauty and money and comfort and yay. So do I really need to say any more about that? You kind of get it, right? Everything yummy and juicy being expanded. Everybody loves the positive Venusian traits. Can it make you a little bit lazy? Yeah, sure. But you know what? I think Virgo's been going through the ringer. If you want to take some time to be lazy, I think that you should do that. It's probably a really good idea for you. Okay, now let's go to the end of the month, because that's when Mercury and Jupiter will get together in this same conjunction. And this is March 27th and March 28th. So let's just look at it really quick with the visual. Now, if you're listening on the podcast, I don't always have written visuals, but you can kind of tell when I do, because I'm referring to things that I'm writing. So if you want the visuals, I have this syndicated on YouTube. And if you don't like the visuals, if you're like, Annie, what the heck am I looking at? I don't like this. You can listen to the podcast. Or you can just push the visual on YouTube up on the screen when you can't see it, and then you can just listen without the visuals. Some people love the visuals, some people don't. So you've got options with me here. All right, so right at the beginning of the month, you see Jupiter and Venus together. They're going to be at the same degree. Then Mercury is going to come from all the way over here and race ahead and meet Jupiter, connect. Guess where all that's happening? In your 8th house. So money expansion in the 8th house of other people's money. Hello. If I wanted to buy a lotto ticket, I would do it then, or do it before then. So the jackpot was then, obviously we're not making any guarantees. You could, that's a whole other thing, right? If we could guarantee that, that would be great. What we talk about here in charts is astrological potentials. That's not necessarily manifestations. What you create and what you pull into your field is very complex, much more so than we can indicate in a general report. But, wow, yeah, if you want to start a business, you want to do something with your work, you want to put in something for your dream job, this energy is like dynamite. If you need support from somebody else, Pluto rules this house, this 8th house. If there's someone in a powerful position that can give you what you need, this is the time to contact them. Maybe they'll say no. Maybe you won't be able to get a hold of them, but maybe you will. Something I've definitely learned from having Aries rising, as I do, is a lot of times people will give me stuff just because I ask for it. I remember there was a job that I wanted. I've had my own business for a very long time now, but back about 30 years ago, almost 30 years ago, there was a job that I wanted. And I really wanted this job. And I told everybody about it. And I was like, please, I just, if I could just get a hold of somebody that works at this place. It was hard to get into. It was a hard job to get. But I kept talking about it. And then all of a sudden, my boyfriend at the time, his mom, knew somebody that worked for the company. And I said, listen, just get me in front of people that make decisions. I want this job. And she called one day and they had someone drop out of an interview, and I went in and I got the job, and it formed a lot of things in my life and helped me to create what I have now. So, this is that kind of energy. So it's like the boldness to ask for something is the storyline for Virgo right now. All right. So something could be right next to you, but unless you kind of show up for it and do the work, you might not be able to get it. And those potentials will just be potentials. So that's an amazing time. And the same thing, the 27th and 28th, big news, information can come in when Mercury gets over there by Jupiter. Some other great dates, the 20th and 21st, we've got the new astrological year, the sun moving into Aries, and then the new moon around the 21st. These dates could be a little bit different depending on your time zone, but around there. one of the best times to do a vision board, to draw, write, clip out essences of things that you want to have more of in your life, whether it's your dream bathroom, your perfect garden, your amazing trip, your best relationship, and then put it somewhere where your subconscious mind can see it to impress upon your subconscious mind to help you create these things. We do create from our subconscious mind. So the more we work in that space, the more we can become active co-creators in our lives. So the whole month is great for vision boards, but the days around the 20th, 21st is very outstanding for the universe being receptive to your wishes. Now, in the days around 11th and 12th of March, Jupiter and Chiron are getting together. That's actually going to be in effect pretty much all month. Those are big heavy hitters. When they come together, their influence lasts way more than a couple of days. So we'll just look at them here. Here's Jupiter and Chiron. You can see even at the beginning of the month, they're close enough, and they've been close enough. So this will echo out throughout this whole month, maybe even sooner than March and later than March. So this is digging out your deep wounds in your, again, your childhood wounds, birth trauma, something that happened where your parents divorced when you were little. Did something happen? Those things can be influencing your life now. And this 8th house is very much about psychology. So you could find a wound or it could surface something that's been holding you back, right? So if you want to advance, or if you want to not have blocks to these things that want to come to you, you might have to do a little excavating. And the universe wants to help you with this excavation process by bringing Jupiter the expander into contact with the wounded healer. So that could come up. But the problem that comes up wants to be solved. And, it being unearthed can be part of the solution here. Okay, so you have that energy as well. Okay, so let's talk about the full moon in Virgo. This is obviously a big deal for you all. We have usually one new moon and one full moon a year. Sometimes that is more than that, but mostly that's what we have. And yours is now. So 16 degrees, March 7th, around there, fullness, completion, fruition, coming to everything Virgo, health, healing, wellness. Your regimen, your supplements, your diagnostics, your daily routine, your systems, your office dynamics, your pets, everything you do every day, health things can come up. So it's related to the 6th house because Virgo rules the 6th house, but it's happening in your 1st house. So that's, again, physical body. This could also be recognition, the fullness, completion, fruition could be, hey, you've accomplished something and everybody's noticing now. So that could be a good thing. But it could be stressful because it could be, just something coming up that has to be dealt with. All the Virgos will feel this potential. But the closer you are to 16 degrees, the more it will lock in to your Virgo placement and feel more personal. So 11 degrees to 21 degrees, we like to give a 5-degree orb. Closer to 16, the more bam. So that's going to be like September 1st through September 11th, and the closer to like the 6th or so, the more you'll be feeling that. All right, so now let's talk about these sign changes. And the first will go in order of magnitude. Mars has been causing a bit of a ruckus in your work sector, making a not great angle for you for 7 months. So I'm sure you're ready to get him pushed off out of there, right? Besides bringing indecision, vacillation, uncertainty on many topics, he's brought a lot of blockages and just kind of things going backwards. So hopefully in January when Mars went direct, these things are starting to free up for you. But even though it was going direct in January, it's not leaving that vacillation and that square for you until now. March 26th through May 21st is when we will see Mars moving into a friendlier sign for you, 60-degree angles. So you'll have 2 months of wonderful possibilities of this border collie of the zodiac, as I like to call Mars, helping you obsess about, focus on social media, internet-based projects. If you have to launch a website or you want to do something with social media, this is probably the best months of the whole year. And again, if you need support, somebody who knows what they're doing in those arenas, or someone that has some clout, you've got a lot of energy in the 8th house of people that can help you with this. So that will be going on, and that will be making that nice angle for you. definitely speaking your language more. Then, very notably, we have Saturn changing signs. Saturn is in a sign, 2 to 3 years. Saturn has been hazing your health sector. So this is, might have been a lot of hardships for you, a lot of heaviness. Might have felt like you've aged a lot over these years. And now, guess what you get? Saturn gifts. When Saturn leaves a sign and house, the degree to which you've worked and according to how he wanted you to work, the old grandfather, wise and stern, making you be disciplined about your health, your daily routine, your structure, the more you've honored what he wanted, the more you'll get those gifts. So look out for that. Maybe a health major healing, maybe a new work environment that you've been wanting, maybe your perfect pet. This is also a great animal house for working with animals or meaningful animal connections. So that's very exciting. And now Saturn's moving to the 7th house, wanting to bring some permanence and important long-term relationships in. So from 2023 to sometime in 2026, you've got Saturn trying to build foundations and strengthen your relationships, test things, look for holes and weaknesses, and strengthen your foundation enough so that you can build your relationship skyscraper as high as you want and have a very good solid foundation. It will test your relationships. It will put pressure on your relationships. Some of your relationships won't make it through this transit, but the ones that do are going to be much shored up and really strengthened and can be very much rewarded the more you invest in your relationships during this time. Okay, so then the next big dog we've got here, and he's the biggest one, is Pluto. Of course, Eris, our lady, more recently discovered, even more of a powerhouse than Pluto, is even bigger than him. But she's not going to change signs for a while, so we're not having that discussion. So for now, Pluto, after being in Capricorn since 2008, harassing, blowing up, transforming, bringing fated experiences to your romance, children, birth, death, transformation, rebirth, your creativity sector. Since 2008, Pluto's shuffling along. Now, it's going to take a couple of years for that Cap energy, it's really going to linger because it's going to pop back and forth between the high degree of Cap and the low degree of Aquarius. So there's some integration work going on. But Pluto is now going into the 6th house where Saturn left. But Saturn left this nice foundation for Pluto to work on. So, even more transformation in these arenas of that 6th house that we talked about before. So I've given you a lot of dates this month. If you want even more, if you like to know the dates and the aspects and what you can expect from them delivered into your inbox 1 month early, go to AnnieHelpsYou.com. Sign up for my free email newsletter. I only send out pretty much just 3 newsletters a month. And they're all chock full of ways you can make the most of the starry possibilities. People in my email community get access to promos that the public doesn't get. They get access to other resources that the public doesn't get. So you can get into my special group there if you'd like. Also, if you'd like to have more content from me, I do put out a lot of public content for free. I do have a portal with exclusive and early content. So you can go to AnnieBAstrology.com, Annie, the letter B, astrology.com. I have info on how to study your natal chart, go deeper into that DIY stuff. I've got my 2023 retrograde calendar, so if you can't fit everything into this nice open window we talked about, and you want to know what the rest of the year is going to be like as far as that retrograde flow, you can get that there. Jupiter through the signs, meaningful connections, dates that, might hit your Virgo placements. Deep dives into the sun moving through each sign and what that means, what you can do with it. What are the best things to do with it? All of that you can check out at AnnieBAstrology.com. If you want to learn astrology to be a professional astrologer, that's actually my biggest passion and where I excel the most. I can take people from ground zero to doing professional astrology readings, or if you are already studying astrology and have trouble bringing it to the professional arena or narrowing it down or want to enhance your knowledge, I'm your girl. You can go to beastropro.com, beastropro.com. See my Becoming a Professional Astrologer Mastery Course. And if you want to have Astrology Basics and Beyond first, or you want to have a free abundance class or a free wellness class, go to lumelife.com, Lume life.com. All of these links are in the notes underneath the podcast and video. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.